Hi guys, Todd here with another product review. This time, it's the Nexigo PJ20 LCD projector. Now, if you'd asked me 10 years ago, would I consider replacing my 55-inch smart TV with a LCD projector? I would have said no way. The image is going to be nowhere near as good, but I've been hearing a lot about how far these things have come, so let's take a look and find out. Could this replace my smart TV? I don't know. I'll give you the specs real quick. It's a TFT LCD projector with an LED light source, native 1080p resolution, manual focus, projection distance of 4.8 to 21.8 feet, projection size 40 to 200 inches, so you can get a 200-inch screen out of this thing, keystone adjustment of plus or minus 15 degrees, 2 USB ports, 2 HDMI ports, an AV port. That's RCA cables, folks. So for those of us still in 1937, it's got us covered. Got a 3.5 millimeter jack for audio output and one speaker at 5 watts. So I'm going to test this puppy out in my own home from 2 different distances under 3 different lighting conditions. The first distance is going to be as close as I can possibly get it to my only bare wall, which is about 5 feet 9 inches. That's going to give me a screen size of about 54 inches. And my second set of tests is going to be from the furthest from the wall that I can possibly get it in this room, which is about 10 feet 9 inches. And that's going to give me a screen size of 94 inches. The 3 lighting conditions I'm going to use are daytime, shades open, daytime, shades closed, and nighttime, no ambient light. Now you'll be able to see from the footage here that this is right next to my sliding glass door, and ambient light was an issue. And I read on the forums that using a darker screen or even treating your wall with a dark, somewhat reflective paint can help deal with those ambient light problems. That might be something I'm going to experiment with next. What's funny though is even with the ambient light interference during the day, with the blinds open, I still found myself wanting to watch this projector instead of my smart TV. And I can't exactly tell you why that was. Maybe it was just the novelty of having such a huge screen or the 1080p resolution on my entire wall. All I can tell you is I had the option of using my smart TV and I still wanted to watch this one. So, how do we compare this projector with other projectors in the same price range? Well, that turned out to be more of a challenge than I ever thought it would. Just looking over the listings on Amazon, I saw projectors listed in lumens, lux, ANSI lumens, and some had different ratings in the same listing. For example, one listing said 8500L. That's the only rating it had in the entire listing. Didn't say if that L stands for lumens, lux, or llamas. Another listing said 10,000 L. Same listing, it said 10,000 lux. Okay, so it's lux. But further down in the same listing, it said 10,000 lumens. Same listing still. Further down, it said 9,500 lux. So which is it? 10,000 lux, 10,000 lumens, 9,500 lux? The list goes on. Another listing, 9,500 L. 9,500 lumen. Okay, so it's lumen. But then further down in the same listing, it says 8,500 lumen. So which is it? Lux, lumen. So I did some research online because I had to figure out how do we compare these things. Some say lux, some say lumen, and then some say ANSI lumen. What the hell does that mean? So here's what I found out. Lumens measures the total amount of light emitted by a light source. How much light does that bulb put out in total? Lux measures the amount of light reflected off of the surface, the screen. But you can't even compare lumens to lumens or lux to lux. And let me explain why. Because lumens measures the total light output of the bulb. We don't know how much of that light makes it out of the projector. The lens eats a little bit. Some might be reflected off of the inside surface of the projector. We don't know how much light actually makes it out. And lux measures the amount of light reflected from the screen, but at a certain distance. And we don't know what distance these projectors were measured at. Was it measured from the minimum focus distance of the projector? Because for this projector, it's 4.8 feet. Minimum focus distance. For other projectors, it's 5.6, 5.4. Was it measured from right in front of the projector? Because the lux is going to be higher from right here than from right here. If we don't know what distance the lux was measured from, we can't compare apples to apples. But the ANSI lumens is this new standard that was created here in the US that tries to standardize projector output. It measures the lumens that actually make it out of the projector. So now we have apples to apples. We can set 2 projectors side by side and say this one puts out this much light from the projector itself. This one puts out this much from the projector itself. Great! Now we have apples to apples, right? No, because not all these projectors list ANSI lumens. In fact, I only found one other one besides this Nexigo that even lists ANSI lumens. They list regular lumens, they list lux, but no ANSI lumens. So how do we know how many ASI lumens this 10,000 lumen projector actually puts out? There's no way to tell. And that's the best I can do for you. So, what are my final thoughts on this thing? Can it replace my smart TV? Well, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, the speaker. Yes, it has a speaker. It's 5 watts. It'll get the job done, but it's no great shakes, and it's not going to replace your home theater system. Good part is I had no problem hooking it up to my home theater system through the HDMI cord, and it sounds great. Secondly, the fan noise. Sure, the fan makes some noise, but it never got in the way while I was watching something. I never even noticed the fan noise until I paused the video. So for my use, it didn't distract me. It wasn't a nuisance at all. Okay, the keystone adjustment. Now, this is a bit of an issue, but I think it plagues all the projectors in this price range. Because here's the thing. When I mounted this projector at a point that was far enough from the center of my screen in terms of height, where I had to make a large keystone adjustment to get the screen to go square again, I had tremendous difficulty focusing the top and bottom of the screen at the same time. The center of the screen looked great, but the top and bottom, I could never get focused at the same time. So what I ended up doing was mounting it at the same height as the center of my screen, and the whole screen focuses perfectly. But this could be an issue if you're going to mount this projector far away from the center of your screen in terms of height. So, bottom line, can this become my daily driver? Can this replace my smart TV? Here's the thing. I think it might. I find myself wanting to watch this every night instead of my smart TV. Maybe it's still the novelty, but the picture is really good, especially at night when I control the ambient light. The picture is amazing. I even get a contrast ratio that seems like the blacks are darker than my white wall would allow them to be. I don't know if that's some sort of optical illusion or what, but I'm going to experiment with a darker surface, either a paint treatment or a dark screen or something, to see if that increases those deep blacks so that maybe I can pump up the brightness of the projector some. I have headroom there. The brightness is only at 50 right now, and maybe that will accommodate some of that ambient light interference I get during the day. If I'm getting deeper blacks and I can pump the brightness up, maybe that'll compete with that ambient light. It's worth thinking about. Anyway, hope this review helped you guys decide. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Until next time, stay human.